Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM News. Our very first story, Parliament has set up a 20-member team to resolve the stalemate over the approval of the 2022 budget. The leadership of the House have themselves acknowledged that the recent developments don't augur well for parliamentary democracy, hence the need to build consensus. You'll recall that the minority last Friday voted to reject the policy document amid claims it will further impose hardships on the ordinary Ghanaian due to the introduction of what has been described as obnoxious taxes. However, the majority group on Tuesday, set aside the ruling of Alban Backbin, affirming the rejection of the budget last week Friday. The minority, who were unhappy with the move, also filed a motion of rescission in an attempt to throw out the approval of the budget by the NPP caucus. The Parliamentary Service says it is working to resolve the disagreement. Director of Public Affairs Kate Addo, who is unhappy with the recent developments, has rendered an unqualified apology to the general public, adding there are ongoing talks to settle the impasse.
The opportunity, and obviously everybody's anxious to see an end to what he described as the impasse. It's been a very stressful few days, but we want to assure everybody that, as I'm sure everyone is aware of, this is in the best interest of the country. All the parts that are agreeing or disagreeing are doing so based on very deep convictions that have to do with the public interest, and that is what is paramount. We recognize that there have been issues that the public is anxiously waiting to see a resolution, and Parliament finally coming out with solutions to what seems to be major disagreements at the moment. We can, as Parliament, we can assure the citizens that we are working on ensuring that as soon as possible, as soon as practicable, we'll be able to put together a resolution that will serve the interest of each and every Ghanaian. And that is what we are working for. That's what the Parliament, institution of Parliament was actually set up for. And so as soon as possible, Parliament is going to come out with the final resolution to the matter. I can assure you that the leaders, the relevant actors in the game are working together to ensure that we are able to come to some consensus for work in the Parliament to go on. This is the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic. 4 times 8 is 24 years. We've come a long way. We are very jealous of the gains that we've made as an institution. We are not about to not let those gains mean something to us. And so would like to assure everybody that as soon as possible, Parliament is coming out with some resolution to the matter, and the relevant people are speaking to each other. And we are hoping for a resolution.
How soon is this resolution going to be?
Well, they are talking, and that is the good thing. Yesterday they were in consultations, and today I know that they are in further consultations as soon as possible. These are issues that have to do with oversight, and it's at the core of what Parliament does. And so it's imperative that every I is dotted and every T is properly crossed. And that's why we are seeing what we are seeing. But I would also like to take the opportunity to explain that the work of Parliament, not just in Ghana, but in Africa, the world over, tend to be sometimes very forceful, especially when people have convictions that they stand by. And so while what is happening may not be the best, it is not out of the ordinary in parliamentary practices the world over. We pray that we don't see things like that in our Parliament. But when they happen, or if they happen, I think it's best to know that everything is being done with the utmost interest of the public at heart. We apologize for what may not sit well with people, and we promise that as much as possible, we will work bearing in mind the nuances and the cultural sensibilities of the people that we serve.
Once again.
Now, one person has been confirmed dead and another injured after attempting to slash a police officer with a machete at Spintex Kotobabi in Accra. The squatters attacked a demolition task force led by the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, enforcing the Making Accra Work Again project. There were gunshots after attempts by the police to rescue the works engineer and members of the task force who were evacuating the squatters. Regional Commander of Police DCOP Idi Seidu says the injured person is responding to treatment.
The squatters, who are mostly Nigerians involved in those things, they pounced on the engineer. The police had to rescue him. And in anger, they turned on the police, stoning them. The police restrained themselves. But along the way, one of them particularly took a machete, advancing to slash one of the police officers. It's at that point that the police needed to what? Defend themselves. So a shot was given and he fell. He got injured. One other person was also hit, and the police wanted to pick them. Then they picked them, they themselves prevented the police and took them to one of the hospitals nearby. But eventually the police went and rescued them and took them to a police hospital. In the course of treatment, one of them passed, but the other one is undergoing treatment at the police hospital. So while the police were concentrating in ensuring that law and order is here, a section of them passed at the back to go and attack the divisional headquarters. So the divisional commander radioed for reinforcement. So as regional command, we directed all patrol vehicles to move to this direction to support and maintain law and order. And that is why we are here.
Let's go up north now. Now, more than 300,000 people will gain access to basic sanitation services in the Enhancing WASH project being implemented by the global communities and its partners. More than 200,000 people will also be provided with potable drinking water under the project. The aim of the project is to facilitate access to and use of sustainable sanitation and hygiene services in northern Ghana. A report by correspondent Martina Bugri.
The United States, through the USAID, is funding the project at a cost of $45.5 million over the next 5 years to improve water, sanitation, and hygiene practice in Ghana. 30 assemblies in the 5 regions of the North and the Oti region will be supported to enable them achieve 70% of target communities to be certified as open defecation free and 60% of households to adopt and sustain improved WASH systems. Speaking at the launch of the project, Country Director of the Enhancing WASH project, Alberto Ward, said government will be supported to plan and budget to improve sanitation in the country.
The goal of Enhancing WASH activity is to accelerate sustainable improvement in water and sanitation access and improve hygiene behaviors in target districts. To meet this goal, we are expected to achieve 4 major results. We are to support that the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Sanitation, Water Resources, and Metropolitan Municipal and District Assemblies, MMDAs, effectively and efficiently plan, budget for, and implement and monitor water and sanitation services and policy. That the government and other actors improve their enabling environment for private sector participation in the WASH sector. That citizens adopt and sustain improved WASH practices, and that WASH services providers adopt improved management, operational, and finance models.
Director of Water at the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, who represented the sector minister, Donna Koblate, said the project is timely considering these regions are already lagging behind when it comes to sanitation.
Evidence from the 2017-2018 multiple indicator cluster survey reveals that these regions have low sanitation coverage figures. as compared to the other regions. Her Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit that I am happy that this project will not only focus on promoting the construction of household and institutional latrines, but will also continue to facilitate a change of behavior.
Ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie Sullivan, said 1% of the country's population still lack clean drinking water, forcing women and children to struggle each day to support their families.
One of the foundations of good health is clean water.
Peritoneal dialysis is a treatment for kidney failure that uses the lining of the abdomen or belly to filter blood inside the body. The starting price for this treatment is 2,000 Ghana cedis, which is unbearable for the poor that visit the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital for treatment. The Rotary Club of Kumasi East has donated items worth $7,500 to equip the health center with medical equipment to aid smooth health delivery. Bilkis Mohammed has more in this report.
Edubuachi donated these items to help patients who are unable to pay for their treatment. President of Rotary Club of Kumasi East, Nana Ayensu Buahene, was grateful to the family for their gesture and appealed to other philanthropists to support such initiatives to alleviate some of the hardships people go through.
There are a lot of people out there who I believe are in better positions than even us to assist in such cases. So I would like to appeal to everybody who is hearing my voice. It is not just about being a member of a Rotary Club or a Lions Club or any other such groupings, but I would like to encourage people to at least visit such institutions and find the need to be able to alleviate some of the hardships that parents and the authorities who are supposed to take care of these situations go through.
The items donated were wheelchairs, peritoneal dialysis tube catheter, and other peritoneal dialysis kits. Dr. Enima Safo, the head of Pediatrics Nephrology Unit of the Child Health Directorate at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital, was grateful for the gesture and appealed to the government to make acute and chronic dialysis treatment free for children.
The hospital usually procures the consumables for us. And once the hospital buys it, it's not free anymore. And unfortunately, it's not on the national health insurance. So you have to pay from pockets. And fortunately, unfortunately, the patients we have, most of them are poor. So if you look at the number of children who undergo chronic dialysis, it's just a minute number, and the cost can be easily absorbed by the national health insurance. So our appeal is that dialysis for children should be on the national health insurance.
So far, 254 lives have been saved through peritoneal dialysis since its inception in 2011 at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. Bilkis Mohammed's report read to you.
Rising dumps and upward flow of moisture through permeable wall structure has been identified as a major phenomenon in Ghana's building industry. This canker frequently shortens the life of buildings and causes health issues for their occupants. Exhibitors and building specialists promise to bring answers to this problem at the Love FM DBS Habitat Fair in Kumasi, which started yesterday. Mona Lisa Frimpong reports.
Buildings are huge investments, and therefore it is necessary that we ensure that we have value for the capital we invest into these buildings. Unfortunately, due to poor construction practices, many buildings are facing defects such as rise and dump and others. That is why the Love FM Habitat Fair is here for you, to provide all the solutions you might need to ensure that your building is in the right state. Rise and dump is the #1 cause of decay to the individual units of buildings. This reduces the lifespan of buildings and causes health-related problems to occupants. The Habitat Fair will offer solutions to these challenges. Rexford Brobe is the director of Heinz Feet Enterprise.
A lot of factors are accountable to that. One is water, which are not draining very well in the house. So when water seeps into the walls, that is what causes the damp rise. So for that reason, a lot of times we encourage people to put plastic sheet on the foundation level before they start the superstructure, because that controls the capillary rise of the moisture from the ground up. And again, so for instance, pavement blocks, if you have very low density blocks or bricks, that also absorbs the water when it rains and all that. And that is what affects the building structure with all this peeling on the walls. I mean, I'm a victim of that. I've spent money to renovate my house, but it still didn't work.
Mr. Brobe encourages prospective homeowners to seek the advice of construction experts before building.
Yeah, they have to go for the right material. In the future, when I'm building another house, from the foundation to the, the window level, I think I will go for something which is more water resistant, like quarry dust, just to build my blocks. But I mean, I'm talking about strong block work, which is able to resist absorption of water and all that.
Lead sponsor of the Habitat Fair, DBS Industries, promises to make products affordable to help support such challenges.
Sometimes when you get good concrete products, you just don't need to buy a lot of plastic rubbers. You see, the combination of the normal wayside people, they don't mix the mixture proportionately. They just do a lot of sand, a little of cement. But for DBS concrete products, it has been tested. And so all the proportion of materials are on play. So getting DBS concrete products, you are good to go.
Frank Abuaje Denyansa of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association has also been sharing financing options available for prospective homeowners.
There are so many packages at the fair where patrons would have that option to either acquire land and pay in bits, because I asked that what will it take for a young person to use 5 years to acquire land and then use about 10 years to build. So if you are 25 years and use 5 years to buy the land, you'll be 30. Then use 10 years to build, you're still within the age of 40. And it means that it's never too late. And those who are about 45 years would have option of engaging mortgage packages, which will be spread over a period which is less than 15 years, because the duration to their retirement is getting closer.
Mr. Abuaje Denyansa explains how individuals can avoid rising dumps in their structures.
So this year's Habitat Fair is coming to provide the solution for anyone who has a problem with housing. And over the past week, we've explained on the housing processes. If you go across the country, you would have so many houses at different stages of completion. Some at the foundation level, some at the window level, some at the lintel level, some at the roofing stage, some after roofing they've rendered, which is the plastering, but they've not been able to complete. Some they've tried completing, it's still not working, and all these people have problems. Those who have even finalized the building itself have issues when you see what we call the damp proof. The base of the building starts peeling off. We have solutions at the fair.
Be sure to make the wisest of decisions, and that is by being at the Kumasi City Mall this Friday, Saturday and Sunday for the Love FM, Ishra FM, DBS Habitat Fair. See you there. From Kumasi for Joy News, Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
All right, well, that's it for the AM news. But of course, the AM show continues, and we'll be diving right into the newspapers after this. Don't go anywhere.